Hello, John Zimmerman, and I want to quickly go over my new book, Absolutely Pass the GED, the 5 steps you need to take to ensure success. So if you're out there and you're looking to pass the GED, or you've been struggling with this video and book is definitely for you. Just very, very quickly about my background. I'm a professional educator. I've done a tremendous amount of work in educational software to include the GED. So I have a strong track record of really getting people to get through um, specifically with the math section of the GED, but I'm also involved with a lot of things with independent learning and school software. So over the last several years, I've never really seen a book that I thought could capture what most people need to know about getting to the GED. And yes, you need to know the academic parts of getting ready for the GED, but so many people fail the GED because they don't have some of the basic things that I talk about in this book. But I'm going to very briefly go over the 5 steps and give you some more information. So it's going to be a quick video. So let's go ahead and get going. So the 5 steps to pass the GED. So the first thing you have to do, step 1, is you have to eliminate the fear of failing and self-doubt. So so many people I've worked with, they cannot pass, let alone the GED or any particular test because their mentality is just so wrapped around being doubtful about themselves. So in my first chapter of my book, I'm going to talk about how to set specific goals for the GED that are going to be powerful goals, the kind of goals that will get you to take actions. So you can start really focusing on overcoming your fear. I'm also going to talk about how to raise your energy level, especially when we're talking about your kind of like your academic, your study energy level, so you can really, start taking some successful activities to get ready for the GED. Then I'm going to talk about thinking pattern, how a lot of people who are thinking about passing a GED, typical thinking patterns that you may not think are harmful to you, but actually could be really holding you back as far as your chances of passing a GED. And then I'm also going to talk about negativity and its significant impact on your ability to pass this exam. So let's go ahead and talk about the second step. So my second step in my book, this is chapter 2, is learn how to pass the GED faster. So for those of you out there that, hey, you want to pass a GED, you don't want to pass it in a couple years. You really want to get this exam behind you so you can move on with your life. So we're going to talk about deadlines and how to create a deadline and why they're important and what type of time range you should be giving yourself for the GED. I go all of this in detail in my book. We talk about priorities and how the GED should fit in as a priority in your life. We talk about time management and the time you're going to need throughout your day to study for the GED. Okay. We're also going to talk about how to create a plan and why it's critical that you have a good plan, a successful plan for the GED, and you just don't kind of wing it. You don't try to make your own plan. You should be following the plan of many people who have already passed successfully. We're going to talk about action and what you might think is enough action to pass the GED and why you're probably incorrect in thinking that, well, you're taking enough action right now to really pass. And then we're going to talk about why it's so important to measure and what you should be measuring to help you pass the GED faster. All right, let's talk about step 3. So the third step you need to be taking to pass the GED is you have to create your own personal action plan for success. Now this is kind of specific to your needs, but I'm going to show you specifically how to build out a study calendar based upon a particular deadline that you're going to set. So you're going to set a particular deadline in a time frame I'm going to give you, and then I'm going to show you how to build a study calendar. And this is just not, study this, study that. It's really kind of, I don't want to say scientific, but it's a good strategy to make the most of your time, okay, and how to construct a successful study calendar so you know what you're doing well, before you start studying for the GED. You're going to study this amount or this topic for a certain amount of weeks, and you're going to do this activity, etc. So you need a good game plan and a good calendar to follow. I'm also going to teach you how to construct a learning journal and why it's important that you have one, and I'll give you some examples of what you should be keeping in that. So let's go and talk about step 4. Step 4 is really important. It's to learn to avoid the top reasons people fail exams. And this is just not applicable to the GED. It's in anything you take. So if you're going to be taking a GED, then going into some sort of school, whether it be college or technical school, this is just good stuff to know across the board. So I'm going to be talking about bad test days, how a lot of people, fail exams. They can be ready for the exam, but then they have a bad test day. But mind you, in step 4, I'm going to be talking about why people fail exams, but more importantly, how to avoid them. So we're going to talk about what does a bad test day look like, and then some of the tips and secrets you want to be doing to avoid a bad test day. Test anxiety is another huge thing that people deal with. It's that fear that it comes out. They're confident, but hey, when you put the actual GED exam in front of somebody, they kind of just freeze up. So we're going to talk about techniques to overcome that, so you're relaxed and confident, and you can concentrate on the actual exam on test day. Another huge thing that's people have problems with is time management. They simply just run out of time on a test. This is a huge topic, but if you don't properly prepare for how to manage your time on the GED, you can find yourself running out of time, which means you're not going to answer enough questions to pass. So we're going to talk about how to avoid running out of time on the GED in terms of getting all your questions answered. And by the way, too, we're going to also talk about when to guess, okay, and guessing strategies. All this is really really critical part of your preparation that most study guides don't go into. Most GED study books are just going to be giving you kind of the academic material, but what I'm going to be giving you is some of the strategies and test taking tips that experienced educators know, just by seeing and working with thousands and thousands of students for years. And then we're going to talk about not studying effectively. So you can be studying for the GED for months, but the way you're approaching the test is ineffective. So you're really kind of wasting your time. So we're going to talk about what does ineffective studying look like, and more importantly, what does effective studying look like. All right, let's take a look at our last chapter. So step 5 is master essential test-taking tips and tactics. So this is going to be another excellent chapter out there for you to really master, because when you're taking it, remember the GED is an exam. So yes, you're going to have to know the academic material the best you can, but also you're going to have to be excellent at test taking, and that's what these last 2 chapters really kind of hone in on. And once again, I didn't find enough of this kind of encapsulated in most GED books out there, so I felt compelled to really sit down and write a book for the people that I help, which are thousands and thousands of people. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the elements in this chapter. So the first one is skipping questions. So I'm going to answer the question, hey, should you skip questions? And I'll just tell you right now, yes, there's a time where you should skip questions, but you don't want to leave questions blank. And we're going to talk about when you should skip and when you should guess. So the next thing is we're going to talk about why it's important to start your problem solving or when you're looking for the solution by looking at the answers. Okay, I'm going to give you some examples why you should be looking at the answers first, and then kind of what to do from that point forward. So it's kind of like your approach to a question. The next thing is how to find the question and why you want to read it twice. So a lot of people, it seems obvious that they're not even answering the right question in the question. So a question, for example, on a GED could kind of be lengthy, and you might be scratching your head after you read it, and you're thinking, well, I don't even know what they're asking. So what I'm going to be talking about is how do you actually determine what the specific question is, like what's being asked of you to get the question right. Okay, so we're going to talk about some examples there and some techniques to identify the right question. And then we're going to talk about guessing. So I've already mentioned this a couple times, but yes, there are times where you want to guess, okay? And this is only a kind of a last option, but it's important that you know what those times are, especially for the GED. And then there's a last little kind of thing I'm going to talk about in this chapter, and that's the post-test gold mine. So I can guarantee you most people out there will not do what I'm going to talk about, this post-test gold mine, and it's critical that if you're taking a GED that you do this. Um, so in essence, this is my new book. I spent a lot of time in here, encapsulating years and years and years of all the strategies I've learned and seen what works with real life people taking real life exams. The whole goal of the book is to get ordinary people out there that, it's been maybe been out of school for some time, to get them motivated, get them confident to pass the GED, and to get kind of momentum going, in terms of your academic success, because most people who are taking a G are looking to go on to either community college, technical school. So it's really the kind of the renewal of your academic efforts since you've left high school. So I kind of wrote it in that context, and there's a lot of bonus materials and worksheets that I have in this book. It's a great value. So if you want to know more about the book, just go ahead and click on the link below the video. And I want to wish you all the best in terms of your GED efforts. This video was made in 2013, and you may or may not know that in 2014 is going to be a new, more challenging GED exam. So, some of the things that I'm talking about in this book are going to apply even more. So, anyways, I wish you all the best. Please, if you are interested in, or if you're looking to pass a GED, this book is critical for you, and it's priced very, very, very affordable. It's not expensive at all. I did that purposely to really to kind of open up as much access to people who are truly interested in passing, the GED. So I wish you all the best, and thanks for watching the video.